Hello there, this is Mark Ambrose from Witham United Reformed Church, and just really catching up midweek. I think, how many weeks are we in? 3 months into this lockdown? Feels like forever. Anyway, normally I just give some little thought and just bring up to date with any kind of pastoral news that I know. Well, the first bit I wanted to say was I had a really horrible phone call with someone this week. It was from a lady who was kind of just wanting to give up. She'd had enough of everything, and she kind of just said, I've just had enough now. And it's terrible when you hear someone saying those kind of words, and it really does shock you. But the truth is that I think there's an awful lot of people who are feeling like they want to give up at the moment. They're feeling that, this thing's going on forever. They can't see an end to it. A lot of them are isolated and have been told they've got to be isolated for some more time. And my heart just goes out to them because it's a horrible place to be. But I don't know. My dad always taught me that you always had to keep going. I used to do a lot of work on my old cars, and some of the old cars that we used to have in those days, that you have to they were all rusty, and you had to try and get a screw off, and it wouldn't come off, and I'd try with everything I could, and I could never shift it. But Dad would just sit and work at it, and he'd work on it and work at it until he got that screw off, and he'd always do it because he just persevered. And there's something about that I've always thought about when I think about my dad. He was a perseverer. He just kept going, and he succeeded in the end, no matter what he was given. But I understand these people. I know when I first lost Deb, I did feel like giving up. I felt I'd had enough, and even now, little things come along, and people. I watch my sermon online and think, oh, is that really me? And then I watch someone else doing a sermon online, and they're doing, an amazing sermon with 57 points, and they're going back to the Hebrew and the Greek and the Aramaic, and they're doing subsections and bringing a wonderful thought about every single aspect of the story. But it does make sometimes you just think, I'm not good enough. I'm not, I can't cope. I'm just want to give up. And I was thinking about that, and I went outside the other day and I saw my fig tree. Now, I bought a fig tree for a children's talk at Burnham-on-Crouch, at church there. And it really helped to remind me of the story of the parable of the fig tree that Jesus told. And if you remember, I think it's Luke 13, that Jesus is, God is the owner of the vineyard, I think it is, and he plants a fig tree in it. And he gets his gardener, which we take as Jesus, to actually do it for him, get it all sorted out and to plant it and put it in there. And he comes back a year later and there's no figs on the fig tree. And he says, what's the point of a fig tree if it doesn't have any figs in? I'll dig it up, make room for something else. But the gardener says, no, don't do that. Let's give it another chance. Let's put some compost and stuff around its roots. We'll dig it out, put that round the roots, and then next year may well have some figs on. Anyway, I just thought that was a wonderful little story, because it just teaches us that God doesn't give up on us. He's constantly giving us another chance. And it's a good job he does, because we can't say that we do that well most of the time. I'm going to show you now my fig tree, which I think is pretty exciting. There it is. And you can see, unlike the one in that garden, my fig tree's got figs on, which makes me very, very happy. I've got about 20 figs. Well, I'm not sure they'll come to anything, but they look as if they might be edible. And it just reminds me all the time that God does not give up on us. And that's what I said to that person who was struggling. God doesn't give up on us, and he doesn't give up on you. And don't think you may think he's not there at the time when you're at your most down and you're struggling, but the truth is he is there. And if you just allow him to minister to your needs, then he will show you his love and his care in any situation. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that as the simple thought for the day. Pastorally, I haven't heard anything about anyone else being particularly struggling at the moment. I'm sure there are people, the normal ones that we've prayed about in the past. We continue to pray for all those. But equally, if you have got something that you want us to pray for or something that we can do to help, then please do get in touch with us in a normal way. Okay, well, God bless you. And I pray that on Sunday, when we start up our new series, that we'll be able to see you again then. God bless you. Bye-bye.